Okay, so what we're covering today is sales training, and we're going to focus on the pre-pitch and the pitch. Okay, so one more time, the first week of the month, we focus on discovery, the most important part of any sales call. Second week of the month, which is this week, we focus on the pre-pitch and the pitch, and I'll explain that. The third section of the week, or third part of the month, third week of the month, we focus on objection handling or going for the close. And then the fourth week of the month, we focus on appointment setting, okay, or follow-ups. Okay, so today let's focus on the pre-pitch and the pitch. Now, who here does not know what a pre-pitch is? Mohammed, Excel, do you guys know what that is when I say pre-pitch?
Yeah, but I've definitely forgotten since.
Okay. So basically, pre-pitch is you've gone through a discovery, and like a doctor, you understand that somebody has a problem, right? Let's say somebody is really sick. They're really, really sick. They have a virus or something. Or let's say they have, let's make this lighthearted, like a non-life-threatening cancer that can be removed, right? It's just a mass, okay? So with discovery, you understand, okay, it's a problem. So now, before I pitch my service to you, I'm going to pre-pitch you. I'm going to sell you on the solution first. Hey, for you to be able to walk around without anything, we're going to need to do a surgery. So I'm going to sell you on the idea of surgery first before I sell you on, it should be me doing the surgery. Okay. For example, let's say someone is wanting to make money from home. Okay. And this offer here is an Airbnb. Okay. So someone wants to make money from home. I'm going to sell them first on the idea that, getting Airbnbs and running an Airbnb business is the best way for you to go. Here's why. Now I want you to see that. Once they're convinced, once they see that, oh my gosh, this is the best route to go, it's an easy sell to say, well, you might as well learn from me. Okay. It's harder to sell them on, you should pay me money. What? But I need to make money. If they're sold on the idea first, your pitch is going to be super easy. And that's principle number one for the day. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on that? Mohammed, any questions on that?
No, all clear.
Good. Very straightforward. Okay. Now, the key to a good pre-pitch, right, is number one, keep it short and sweet. You don't want to be salesy. You want to show them like it is a really, really good option and probably the best option for them. But the key to any sale at this point, right, is get them to see this, right? Get them to sell themselves on it. So in discovery, which we talked about last week, you've got a lot of pain points. You've got a reason why they got to do this. Okay, you've got what's wrong. You've got why it needs to be fixed now. You've got what happens if they don't fix it. Okay, and you've got, okay, what are they struggling with? Why haven't they been able to fix this before? For example, let's say someone wants to lose weight. They're trying to buy a workout program, right? At this point, I've already understood, well, why not just go for a run? Okay, that's not working. Have you tried a gym? That's not working. Okay, why do you need to lose weight in the first place? Why do you need to fix this now? I've got all that. Now is the time I want to start using that in the pre-pitch. Okay, so now that I've understood, okay, you want to lose weight. It's been frustrating for you. You don't think you're going to live past 50 because you're super obese at this point, but you can be better. Okay, you want to be healthier and you want to do it now because your knees hurt and you want to see your children. Got it. Now it's time to pre-pitch. Okay, and I've set all that up first. So I'm not going into this, okay, without knowing that. That has to be clear. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So going into this, what I'm going to use is some of those pain points, right? So at this point, hey, if I'm pitching my offer, here, I'm going to show you all the reasons why this is probably a better fit than anything else you've looked at. I'm already trying to not discourage them, but like basically unsell them, right, from anything else. Okay, so hey, here's why Airbnb is really good for you. You mentioned earlier, you don't have a lot of time, right? You mentioned your biggest frustration is that you want to make more money, but you don't have, 20 to 30 hours a week. You can't go back to school. You can't get a second job. So I think Airbnb is really good for you because it has very little time investment. Can you see how Airbnb already is so much better? Most of our students, they're already earning $5,000 to $10,000 a month, working less than 10 hours a week. And that's exactly what you said you wanted. What do you think about that? Do you see how that's probably a better fit for you? And when they say yes, well, why does that make sense? Because I don't have time and you're solving that problem, Josh. They're already a little bit more sold on this offer. Just from this. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Now remember, I haven't pitched a product at all yet. Okay, I haven't said my course, my program, right? All I've said is, hey, Airbnb is probably the perfect fit for your needs. I will show you why, and I want you to tell me if you agree with me. Number one, you don't have a lot of time. You can make 10K a month at Airbnb for like less than 10 hours a week. I don't think you could find a part-time job that will pay you this much money. Can you imagine, right? Making 10K a month for less than 10 hours a week. How would that change your life? Because you mentioned earlier you have no time. Oh my gosh, I've got to do this. Okay. You know what else I think this is good for you? It's very little money. Okay. It doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't even take tens of thousands of dollars to start this. Okay. And it is not a bunch of overhead. It's not a bunch of, headaches. Okay. So what you said earlier is like, hey, I might want to start a business. This is better than starting a business. Wouldn't you agree? You don't, like you said, you don't want to spend too much money. This is a good route for you. You don't have to spend too much money. Yeah, I see that. I have to do this now. Okay. By point number 2, they're already sold. I can probably say, okay, you want me to teach you how? Yeah. Okay. You sold them. Does that make sense so far, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What questions do we have so far? Good. No questions. We're going to role play this later, so I want to make sure you guys are getting this. Okay. The final thing here is one more. I usually like to do in points of 3. There are 3 reasons why this is the best fit for you. Okay. Very little time. You don't have time right now. I'm going to solve that problem for you by giving you a lot of money without you spending a lot of time. Second problem you said you had, you don't have a lot of money to invest. Okay. You don't have tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. Well, Airbnb is very, very inexpensive. You can do it this way. Final thing is it's simple. Okay. Something you said that worried you earlier is you don't want to have to go back to school, or you don't want to start a complicated business. You're frustrated because you think it takes a lot of knowledge to win at life. And I'm telling you, this is very simple. I know you can do this. Already they're like, wow, I want this. This is the answer to my prayers. You've solved everything that I was saying I wanted. Of course I have. I was listening to you earlier and I just solved it in 3 points. Okay. And that's the first section of a pre-pitch. I haven't even pitched my offer yet. Okay. But just by doing this, by selling them on the idea, I can pitch my offer and they're like, yeah, of course I want to learn from you. I need to do this. If they don't say that, I'm going to keep going back to this until I feel like they're sold on the idea of Airbnb first before I sell them on my program. Okay. And that's where a lot of sales reps mess up. That's why cold calls are so hard. That's why a lot of these programs out here, people just get on the phone and they pitch you. Hey, I've got the best program. I got the best course. I got the best coaches. Dude, I don't care. You haven't even listened to me. I don't even know if I want this. Versus me coming in here and saying, hey, with or without my help, you need to do Airbnb, don't you think? Yeah, I want to do it with or without you. Okay, wouldn't it be easier to do it with me? Yeah, and now you can sell the program. Okay, so that's the first section of a pre-pitch. Does anybody have questions on that? Okay, here we go. Do these 3 steps remain the same for both B2B and B2C? Great question, Mohammed. Sometimes for B2B, your sale, usually if I'm pre-pitching, that's only if they do not understand my industry. Okay, so this is actually a very good lesson. Do you guys know the difference between problem aware and solution aware clients?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Itzel, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I get it too.
Yes. Okay. So people who are problem aware, right? But they're not solution aware, I'm giving them a pre-pitch. Okay, they don't know my solution. So say it's B2B. I give marketing services for people by using, let's say YouTube ads. But let's say they've never done YouTube ads. They don't know what it is. I'm going to pre-pitch them on the idea of YouTube ads being the reason why they're not successful right now. Okay, they don't have YouTube ads running. If they're like, I already know what I want, Mohammed. Okay, I know what you guys do. I'm literally here to pay you if you're the best at this. Okay, I'm going to skip the pre-pitch. I'm going to go right to my pitch. Okay. Now, the only time I go to a pitch is if I'm certain that they're sold on what I do. They need this. Okay, so sometimes I'll ask a question in discovery before I go into my pitch. I'll ask a question, and this is how you know if you pre-pitch or not. Okay, this is the question I ask. I say, okay, now last question for you. Do you already know what steps you need to take to fix this problem, and you just want to see if I'm a good fit for that? Or do you not know what you don't know yet? And I'll ask them one more time. That's a kind of tough question. Do you already know exactly what steps you need to take to fix this problem? Do you already know you need a surgery? You're just trying to see if I'm the right one to do it for you? Or do you not even know what the solution is? You know you have a problem, but you're not sure how to fix it yet. and you want me to advise you on that. More often than not, they'll say, I'd like your advice. I don't know what I'm doing. Now, B2B, more often than not, they'll say, I know exactly what steps I need to take. I don't want to do it myself. I want you to do it for me. And that's what this call is about. Sweet. Okay. Let me walk you through what I offer, and then I'm going to go right to the pitch. Hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of heavy there. Does that make sense to you both?
Yeah, but I had a question, but I'm trying to remember and like figure out how to say it.
Okay, take your time with it. Mohammed, does that answer your question for you?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. Okay. So just be careful, because with B2B, you don't want to be too salesy. And if you go to a pre-pitch and they're already like, Mohammed, I already know all this, they're gonna roll their eyes and they're already gonna be like, oh my God, you're selling me with a script. You haven't listened to me. Okay. So listen to your prospects, understand where they're coming from, ask good questions so you know, are they problem aware or are they solution aware? I'll literally ask them, do you already know what the solution is? You already know what I do? Are you really familiar with this? Do you already have in mind what you want from this outcome from working with me? I have no idea what it is you guys do. Please tell me. Okay. Well, Airbnb. Let me tell you why. 3 reasons why this is the best fit for you. Whether you work with me or not, you have to do Airbnb. Here's why. I'm not going to move forward until you agree. Right? Or if they're like, I already know Airbnb. I've wanted to do it for years. I just need the right coach to coach me. Great. So you already know that it's the, very little time investment. It's very inexpensive and it's simple, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. And you understand that you could make 10, 20, 30K a month for like 5 hours a week, right? Yep. Okay, cool. Let's dive into how I can help you do that. Make sense, guys?
Yeah, and these are the people that are like on the call, be like, just tell me the price.
Aha. Yes. So I never just tell the price. I need to anchor it to something. Now, I don't have to save it for the end of the call either, but I'll say, interesting. Well, what do you think? What do you need me to, what do you want to pay me for? Well, your program. Well, I'm not quite sure what it is you need yet. Right? Like that's like going to a doctor's office and say, hey, doc, just tell me how much this is going to cost me. Dude, I don't know. Do you have a broken leg? Do you have a tumor? Do you have a cold? Are you just being a baby? I don't know. Let's have some sort of discovery first so I can understand everything I need to fix. And then you can tell me which ones you don't need me to help you with. Okay, you don't have, I don't have to fix the toe if the leg is what you're focusing on. Okay, but I mean, at least need to know everything that's wrong. Nothing's wrong. I just need to see how much this costs. Oh, zero, costs $0. We can just have a quick conversation. I'm not really going to give away information. That's cool. I'll give you all the info you need, but it's on YouTube. Go look it up. What? No, I need to know how. Well, I don't know if you need my coaching, and I don't just take anybody. we turn down most people. Okay, this is a specific relationship. I need people that need my help, and that's what I focus on. Okay, so if you want me to get to the price, why don't I get to the problem? Well, let's get to the problem, and I can tell you how much it'll cost to fix that problem. Okay, well, I need to make more money, and I don't have a lot of time. And look, I'm an investor, but I don't want to waste my time with a course, and I'm here to vet you. Okay, so I need to see if your program's good, and I haven't done this before, so I need someone to teach me quick. Okay, that's probably going to cost you right around $50 to $60 to maybe $100,000. What? That's not what I'm going to charge you, but you asked about how much it costs. That's how much it would usually cost you to do this on your own. Most people. So there you go. Good luck. No, but I need your help. There we go. Why do you need my help? Okay, why? Why can't you figure this out? I'm not asking to be rude. I'm actually asking, are you sure there's nothing you've done everything possible on your end to figure this out? Well, yeah, I just need to do it faster. Ah, so you need me to do it faster. Why is that? What's going on? I just don't know what I don't know. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, so my mentorship is not going to cost you 100 grand. I'm here to make sure you don't spend that kind of money. It costs for my time because I'm going to save you time. Now, do you understand Airbnb intimately? Do you already know what you want to do? Yes. Okay. How much money do you think you could make this year from it? Right. And now I'm asking them to be sure they understand it. Does that make sense itself?
Yeah, and I wish I had that recorded.
I'm recording this whole thing.
Oh, yes, perfect. Okay.
Yep, that's why I'm recording it. But yeah, to make it simple, I kind of went off there. Someone said, well, just get to the price. Cool. Well, if you don't mind, are you opposed to me figuring out the problem before I get to the price? Because I don't want to sell you a surgery if I don't think you need a surgery. I just need to know how much your mentorship costs. Literally, some people could pay me 100 grand. Some people could pay me $1. Some people I'll say, don't pay for my coaching. You don't need it. Go to YouTube and stop being lazy. I'm a real coach, okay? That's what we do. So why don't we figure out the problem together? And are you opposed to sitting down together and finding the right solution so that you're not overpaying for something and you're also not underpaying for something? right? I want to make sure you don't overpay, but also want to be sure you don't walk away without something you need. Is that fair? That's fair. Are you opposed to that? No, I'm not opposed to that. Okay, let's do it. I need you to answer some questions though. And I'll answer. How about this? You answer questions for me, I'll answer questions for you. It'll be great. Can we do this? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on that? I know that was a good question there. Okay, Mohammed, is that making sense to you?
No questions, man.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay. Excuse me. So back to this. If I feel like they need this, I'm going to pre-pitch them. And the first thing I'm going to do is give them 3 reasons why they've got to do this. Not my program, they have to do my solution. Okay, so if someone's literally like, hey, man, you sprained your ankle, you're going to need to ice it. You're going to need to put that thing in a boot, and you're going to need to elevate. I'm just going to tell you why. Here's why. If you don't do this, you're not going to be able to walk for the next month. If you don't do this, it could turn into a tear. And if it turns into a tear, you might miss out on your college basketball scholarship. You've got to do what I'm telling you. Now, now I can sell you. Here's an ice pack. Okay, here's some crutches. Here's a boot, and here's some medication. That'll cost you right around, a couple $100. Okay, but it's because they already understand they need it. Okay, that's section 1. Now, if I really feel like it's usually in B2C, they're going to need a little bit more selling. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to give them a logical sell and an emotional sell. Okay. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory, but who here thinks, either one of you guys, can you tell me kind of the difference between a logical sell and emotional sell and kind of an example of that? It sells, you know the difference?
I guess logical cell would be more focused on numbers.
Okay.
And emotional cells would be more benefit driven. That's
Good.
what I think.
Very good. Good answer. It's all anything to add to that?
For the emotional sell, it's like them imagining their end goal, like how life would be like at the very end, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And for logical, it's numbers. And usually we make decisions emotionally, but it has to be backed by logic. Okay, I can't just make an emotional decision, but the numbers don't match up. And the numbers can match up, but a lot of people say, I got to think about it. Dude, the numbers are all there. That means I haven't done enough emotional selling either. Okay, we make decisions with our gut and our mind, and it has to be both. Okay, so now that I've told them, here's why, do you agree? And they're like, yes, I agree that these 3 things are something I need. I've got to do Airbnb. This, a logical emotional sell, can be done in 2 sentences. Cool. I mean, numbers wise, 90% of our students, they're making at least $5,000 a month working 2 hours a day. Okay, that's 90% of our students make $5,000 a month working 2 hours a week. Can you see why this is a good solution for you based off the numbers? Yeah, numbers wise, I got to do that. Can you see why this is better numerically for you than your job? Yeah, I can see why. Numbers wise, this makes sense. It adds up. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah, logically, it makes sense. Awesome. Now, let me ask you this. Close your eyes for a second. I won't do this with B2B, right? B2C. But what's the first thing you're going to do when you're making $10,000 a month? I mean, what's your wife going to say when you slide her a $10,000 check? What's her reaction going to be? What's it going to be like when you finally pay off that student loan and you can quit your job? Tell me, what are you going to do? I'm genuinely curious. So now numerically it makes sense. And now they're going to imagine themselves winning. And now they're thinking, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I have to do this. It's easy. It doesn't cost too much. The numbers make sense. And I need to feel that. Cool. Let me ask you this. Scale 1 to 10. I won't even do the 1 to 10. I'll be like, hey, okay. So is it safe to say that Airbnb is the best fit for you? Yeah, absolutely. Now I can pitch them. If they're like, I'm interested. Okay, interesting. What interests you about this? And I'll go back to a logical sell and I'll go back to an emotional sell until they're like, I got to do this. Okay, then I can pitch them. So that's the whole purpose of a pre-pitch. I give them 3 reasons based off their pain points. So I listened earlier and I answered 3 pain points they have. Okay, so I answered it. You don't have a lot of time right now. Boom. You don't have a lot of money right now. Boom. And it's simple. You don't want to spend too much time, not something complicated. Boom. Now that I've answered those 3 pain points for you and you see why you need my offer, now I'm going to logically sell you. Hey, here's the numbers on it. Does that line up to you? I want to be sure there's no concerns. Logically, yes, logically, I need to do this. And then emotionally, What's it going to be like? Tell me, what's the first thing you do when you have $10,000 in your bank account? Cool. Now you've imagined it. What are you willing to do to get there? Anything. Good. Let me tell you about how I can help you get there. Are you open to that? Yeah. Now I pitch them. So that's a pre-pitch. This usually takes me about 2 minutes. I don't want to spend too long on this. Okay. I don't want to sell too much. Now, I may take 5 to 10 minutes here if they're really like, I'm still not sure if I want to do this. Okay, I need to make sure you really want to do this before I pitch you something. Because I'm not going to sell you a shovel if you don't want to dig. Okay, I'm not going to sell you the boot and the ice pack if you're not going to put your ankle in it. Okay, I'm not going to sell you crutches if you're not going to use it. Okay, but if you really think you need it, now I can sell it to you and you're not going to think twice about the price. Okay, and that's how you get somebody sold before you pitch them a single thing. All right, now that was a lot. That was pretty heavy. We're going to move on to the pitch here. Any questions on this, you guys? Make sense? Type 1 if it makes sense. Good. Awesome. Great. Before I move on, I'll role play this real quick, and then you guys will take turns doing this too. Here's what this is supposed to sound like. Okay. Now, I've recapped right before this. I've said, okay, so just to recap, Excel, Mohammed, you guys are struggling to bring in money at the rate you want, right? You're not really happy with your 9 to 5, and you don't want to spend there in the next 50 years there. Am I right? You guys would say, yeah, that's right. Okay. The reason why you don't get a second job is because you don't have time to get a second job. You're already working 10 hours a day. So that's out. And the reason why you don't want to start a business is you don't have the money to start a business. Is that right? That's right. Okay. So I see the problem. Problem is you hate your situation, but there's no way out. Got it. Let me ask you this. How familiar are you with Airbnb? Do you guys know exactly what steps you need to take to make this your solution, or do you want me to walk you through that? Oh, please walk me through it. I've never done it before. Okay. So I understand your situation. Now the heavy news is this is a tough situation. Okay. A lot of people face this and most people don't get out. Most people stay trapped. And I imagine that's not where you want to be. In 50 years, you don't want to say that you never improved it, right? Right. So you want to take action, right? Right. Okay. Well, let me explain this. The good news is I help people like you all the time. Okay. And the best way to get out of the situation that I've ever seen is Airbnb arbitrage. Okay. You're in the right place. Okay. So it's okay. It's okay. I'm here now. Okay. Now here's why it's the best fit for you. You just said you don't have a lot of time. You can't start a business. You can't get another job. Guess what? Airbnb, you can make 10K a month for less than 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. How cool would that be? Wow. I didn't know that was possible. Yeah, definitely don't get another job and you can do this instead. Second thing, you didn't have money to start a business. I mean, that costs tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, I don't know if you guys know how to hire employees and do products, and it's just a lot of headache to run a business. Airbnb, there's no headache. Okay, and it's really, really inexpensive compared to businesses. Does that make sense why this is so good for you? I don't want you spending too much money, okay? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't. Okay, good. And then it's simple, okay? Very little skills to maintain this thing. Does this make sense why you're in the right place? Do you see why Airbnb is the best fit for you? Yeah, I do see that. Why is that? Tell me. What stood out to you most? Well, everything. I don't have a lot of time. I love that you guys make so much money, and I definitely need something simple. Okay, would you say you're in the right place? Yeah, I'd say I'm in the right place. I've already got them sold. Okay, stop me if you have questions, guys. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, cool. Well, great. Now, numbers wise, I just want to run the numbers by you if that's okay. Okay, typically 96% of our students, they're making at least $5,000 a month, working around, 5 hours a week, making right around 60% margins. Okay, they're taking home like, 3 to 5K every single month from one property, just one. Can you see how numerically one property, you could match your income? I mean, in 3 months from now, you quit your job. Can you see how numbers wise, it just makes more sense to do Airbnb? Yeah. Oh my gosh, is that real numbers? That's real numbers. Of our last 10 students, 6 of them got a property in the first 30 days, and now they're making at least $7,000 a month. Numerically, would $7,000 a month doing Airbnb make more sense than you getting a second job? Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. When you get to the point, because I'm going to get you there, where you're earning $10,000, $20,000 a month, what's going to change for you? Walk me through how your life is different when you're now running Airbnbs instead of driving to your job. Oh, I'd finally get to put my 2 weeks in. I wouldn't be stuck in traffic anymore. And will you be able to spend more time with your kids, do you think? Yeah, absolutely. How do you think they'd like that? Oh, they'd love that. Wow. So it sounds like, dude, you got to do this for the kids, not just for you, huh? Yep. Okay. Well, I feel like this is the best move for you. I know this is the best move for you. Do you feel like Airbnb is the right place for you to be? Yes. Okay. What questions do you have? Well, how do I do this? Simple. I'll show you how. And now I pitch them. That, my friends, is probably a 3-minute pre-pitch. Does that make sense to you guys? Drop a 1 in the chat if it makes sense. Good. Awesome. Good, good, good. Any questions? Edsel, you have a question?
No,
How did that sound to you?
it sounded really, really nice.
Do you feel like if you were a prospect, you would feel more comfortable with me pitching you my offer now that you feel, would you feel sold on Airbnb?
Be folded.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so. Because I want to be sure, number one, before I pitch you something, I need to be sure that you want me to pitch you something. Okay, now it's almost like, Josh, tell me what to do. By the end of this pre-pitch, they should be saying, can you just tell me how you do it? Can I get your coaching? Can you show me how? Dang, okay, if you insist. You're asking me, all right, relax. I'll show you how. Gosh, you're begging me to do it. Okay, I'll let you pay me. All right. That's how it should be, instead of fighting for them to pay you something. Right? Okay, please pay for my I promise you it's the best program. I don't want to work that hard. I've never worked that hard in a sales call. Not once I've ever been like, this is the best program ever. Not once. Okay, Wolf of Wall Street, they get it wrong. He has to pitch so hard because he's cold calling. Right? I don't want to be in that position. I want to be in a position where they're like, Josh, please coach me. Please show me how to do this. I got to get this. All right, I believe you. I'm inclined to help you. Why should I help you? Because I'll be the best student you have. How much does your program cost? What is it? I'll be your hardest worker. Okay, I believe you. I'll show you what my program's like because I really do want to help you. Now you get a promise. If I give you this program, you're going to do every step I tell you, and you're going to actually try and make money from this. Can you promise me you're not going to try and do this alone? You're going to reach out for help if you have questions. I promise. Okay, let's do the program. I believe in you. And you know what? I'll be with you every step of the way. 5K for the program. Here's what you get from it. Okay, you get coaching calls. You get a course. You get accountability partners. In 30 days, we'll help you get your first property. I'd like to see you making $10,000 by day 60. Is that cool with you if I push you that hard? Is it okay with me if I push you to make $10,000? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Good news is it's 5K to join. Like I said earlier, normally on your own, you'd spend about $20,000 to do this on your own. With me, probably a quarter of that, because with my knowledge and my help, we'll get you doing this in no time. As long as you promise not to take like a 3-month vacation on me and just disappear. Can you promise you're gonna participate? Yeah, I promise. All right, I'll let you in. Let's do it. And I'll do everything I can to help you. You ready? And that's your pitch, because they're already sold on the offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Questions on that one?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Any questions there?
No.
Okay. Mohammed, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, man. I just need to share one thing. Whenever I see your any presentation or specifically this topic, I recall my first call with you, and then I relate everything to that call, and
Good.
think everything I relate it to myself with your coaching call.
Nice.
So it's very much easier for me to understand from that perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What we're going to do on Thursday, and actually tomorrow, okay? So Tuesdays and Thursdays are sales training. Wednesdays and Fridays, we put it into practice. Okay, and I'll do it on Thursday too. If you guys show up tomorrow, everything we talked about, we're going to role play tomorrow. We're going to practice, get your reps in, take it one section at a time. So what I don't want you guys to feel is overwhelmed. This is a lot. And like you said, Mohammed, you want to, listen to the recording and make it your own and relate it to yourself. And you've had training too. But we can practice this together in ways where you're like, okay, I get this section here. And instead of thinking in sections, it's just natural. Okay, because you're not having section conversations, you're having a full conversation. So we'll practice it. Okay. But again, what I want you guys to take away from today is if you do your job early, if you do the work early, your pitch should be the most smooth, exciting, and fun thing for you and your prospect. Okay, I know a lot of people, they get to the pitch and now they're like, okay, I'm gonna become a salesman now. I'm gonna work hard now. That's bad. I can sense that energy a mile away if I'm a prospect and I'm out. All right, you really need to make a sale off me. I don't know if I trust you. If I've consulted with you and you trust me like an advisor because I've just given you the right path and now you're asking me to guide you, all right, I'll go up to the mountaintop with you. I'll be your guide. But are you sure you want to get to the top of the mountain? Yeah, I'm sure. Tell me why. Well, because like you said, it's simple. It kind of costs less. It'll get me out of my job. If 90% of your students make it, 10K a month would change my life. I have to tell my wife that I've made 10 grand. It's gonna be awesome. Compelling reasons why. Okay, you know what? You should get to the top of the mountain. Well, can you take me there? All right, if you insist, I'll pitch you. To get you to the top of the mountain, you're gonna need supplies. Okay, you're gonna need my roadmap and you're gonna need me. Those three together are 5K. I'll get you the supplies. I'll write the roadmap for you and I'll be strapped in next to you every step of the way so you're not gonna fall. I also have a parachute. Okay, so in case we fall, you're safe. That's my pitch. 30-second pitch. Are you in or you out? I'm in. Cool. Right now, can you promise me if I let you in? So now I'm in charge of this, right? If I let you in, there's a lot of students we work with, a lot of students we don't work with. Are you sure you're going to be a good group member? Okay, we're on a hike to the top of the mountain. I can't have anybody lagging behind. And if you do lag behind, that's fine, but I can't have you, not participating. You got to be up here with us because I'm here to save your life. Yeah, that's my pitch to you. 5K, let's do it. Okay, now the pitch is them wanting to do this. And that's why we pre-pitch. And that's why you need to be sure if you even need to pre-pitch. If they're already like, Josh, I need to get to the top of the mountain. I already know the steps to get there. I know that I need to harness. I know I need to parachute. I know I need you by my side. I know I need a roadmap. I just need to know how much it costs. I need this stuff, Josh. Please don't leave me on my own. I need to get up there. Okay, cool. You already know what Airbnb is, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, here's how I'll help you get to the top. Are you sure that you're sure? Well, and I'll play devil's advocate. Okay, if someone's very sure, I'll play devil's advocate. Well, what if it's not the best move for you? Why not get a second job? No, I need to do Airbnb. Need to, it's a strong word. Why not just suck it up for the next 50 years at your 9 to 5? Dude, I can't go another year. Oof. Okay, well, why not start a business? I mean, if you've got $20, $30, $40,000 and you're fine not making money for a year, you could start a business, and in 2 years from now, maybe you profit. There's a 90% chance you fail, but if you really stick through it, you could start a business. Why not do that? No, I don't want to do that. It sounds horrible. Yeah, I agree. All right, well, I guess you're right. I guess Airbnb is your only move forward. Can you think of anything else you'd rather do? No. Okay, let's do it. And that's another way to sell. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We went through a lot of heavy stuff today, so I'm going to post the recording of this call in school. What questions do you guys have? That was a lot. How about this? What questions do you have, or what takeaways? And both of you should give me at least one takeaway.
On school post?
Oh no, like right now. You don't have to post.
Oh.
Right here. Like, do you have any questions? If not, what's a takeaway? What's something you want to use in your sales process?
Yeah, I'll definitely use the pre-pitch process, especially for B2C prospects.
Yes.
And I'll add that up to my own agency offer as well.
Good. Now, let me ask you this little pop quiz for you. If it's B2B, how do you know if you should pre-pitch them or not? What's a good question you can ask so you're not pre-pitching a B2B prospect, a business owner? What's a good question you can ask to be sure you need to pre-pitch them?
Yeah, I can ask questions so that whatever the response they give me, I should be clear that whether they are problem aware or solution aware. So
Good.
If they know the outcome they want to achieve, so I don't need to give them the pre-pitch.
Yes.
But if they don't aware of the outcome or they don't realize its importance, then I should pre-pitch them, even if they are B2B prospects.
Yes. Very, very close. Not just the outcome, if they already know the solution. Okay. If they know,
Okay.
So if they're like, okay, Mohammed, I already know that you guys do, Facebook ads, and I know I need it. I don't want to do it myself. I just need you to do it for me. How much is that going to cost me? Okay, so they know the outcome and they already know what the solution is. They're already sold on the solution. So yes, almost right. And if they're not sold on the solution, they're like, I've never done Facebook ads before. I don't know. I've heard about it. What is it you guys do? You should pre-pitch them, right? They should be sold on the solution first. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Good takeaways. That was basically perfect. Itzel, what about you? Do you have any questions? And if not, what are something you're going to use? What's a takeaway?
No questions, but I need them to pretty much convince themselves that they need it.
Right. And the reason why is if someone convinces themselves, number one, you're serving them, not selling them. Right. You're serving them. They're literally ordering from you. So you're like, all right, I'll give you the burger. You want the hamburger? Okay. And secondly, it's just responsible. I'm not going to pitch you and sell you on a product if I don't know if you need it. You have to tell me that you're okay with me giving you a surgery. Because then if you tell me you need it in this coaching program, I can push you, right? Just like personal training. I'm going to be up at 6 a.m. I'll be yelling at you. Stop being lazy. Get back on the treadmill. Stop it. But I can't act that way if you haven't given me permission to, because then that'd just be rude. So you're right. They need to sell themselves on it. Now, how at Sell do you think you'd get them to sell themselves on it? From what we talked about today, what are some things that we did that you think you'd like to use?
I need to ask them more questions.
Mhm.
And then I need to pick apart their, what was the word? You need to pick apart the discovery and pretty much repeat it back to them in question form.
Very good. Before you pre-pitch, you want to recap, like you said. Good. Pick apart the discovery. Okay, so just to be clear what I'm dealing with here. You're struggling with X, Y, and Z. That hurts you because of this. And you need to fix it now because of this. And you've tried these things and those failed. So really, there's no escape for you. Is that correct? Because you want to be sure they don't have an out. You may pitch them like, you know what, I'm going to try drop shipping instead. And I'm just going to go back to my job. I need to make sure they don't say that. So I'm going to make sure of this before. So good job. You do want to recap the discovery. Now in the pre-pitch, what's a takeaway from the pre-pitch that you took away from this? Or some things you're going to do?
Those were the things I was going to do.
Okay, what else? What else? Because that's before the pre-pitch, which is actually spot on though. That's very good. I'm glad you caught that. You caught one of the most important things to do. But now that you've done that, what's something you want to take away from what we covered here?
Well, isn't it the same process though?
What do you mean?
Well, that's when you're not just recapping it, but you're having like, you're
I
going
see what you're saying.
you're
Okay,
going
so
through
you
the-
were saying this section. Now I'm recapping what they said. And yeah, okay, so good point. That is a good takeaway. These points are going back to what they said in discovery. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah, absolutely.
you're logically and emotionally selling them and like, okay, this is going to solve this problem because of this.
Good. Very, very good. That's the entire point of the pre-pitch. Yes, absolutely right. Because if you don't do that, they're just going to be like, I'll think about it. I don't know if I need this.
Mhm.
Right? I need to fix actual problems. So they're like, all right, I need this. I'm like, are you sure? Okay, very good. Very good, guys. Okay, my final takeaways from this. Okay, this is very simple. We'll practice this Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. We'll practice this. And we'll talk about the pitch on Thursday. We'll talk about the pitch on Thursday. Okay. But so a couple takeaways. Beforehand, you do need to recap and make sure you ask, okay, so do you understand exactly what solution you need and what steps you need to take? Or is that something you need my help with because you don't know what you don't know? I don't know what I don't know yet. Can you tell me? Pre-pitch them. If they're like, I already know the solution. Okay, you tell me, what's the solution? Do you think? In your best terms, because I want to give you what you think you need. Right? Well, I need this, this, and this. Okay, sounds good. Let's pitch you. And then final thing is, if you feel like you've done a pre-pitch and they're still not sold, okay, they're still iffy, you're gonna want to go back to it and just emotionally sell them, ask them questions, play devil's advocate. Okay, you're kind of interested. Let's play devil's advocate. Why not do this? What are some reasons not to do this? Why not just go back to your job? Do you think numbers wise, would it make more sense to spend 10 hours a week at your job instead of 10 hours a week doing this? Well, numbers wise, it wouldn't make enough money. Okay, well, why not just start a business? Don't you have time? It'll probably take you 30 hours a week and, a good $30,000-$40,000. Why not just do that? Well, I don't have that money or that kind of time. Why not just suck it up and stay where you're at? Or a gentle way is, why not just be okay with where you're at? Why not just learn to love where you're at? Can you learn to love where you're at? No. Okay, so this isn't the kind of sort of you have to do this, huh? Yeah, it looks like it. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure now. So you keep going back to it until they're sure that they're sure. Okay, and then the pitch becomes easy. Make sense, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Okay. That's a good training for today. Any last comments or questions? Was this helpful? First of all, was this helpful to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Any last comments or questions?
Yeah, I do have one question. It's
Hit me
it's
with it.
not related to the topic, but it's related to a job I applied like few hours ago. I received a response from them, and they are asking me to send them my resume. But the issue is I have not made my resume specifically for closer role or sales skills because
Yes.
it's based on my e-com experience. So I have questions like what should I include in my resume, or if you have any sample resume which you can send to me so I can
Yes.
quickly make it according to that and then send to the company. What do you think?
Absolutely. I'll send you a sample resume. Now, in week 4, I have a sample resume for someone who kind of had some sales experience, but they haven't really been a closer or setter before. And they've done business stuff before, kind of like you. Okay. Her name's Ty. She's awesome. Check out week 4 for the resume example. Okay. Because resumes don't matter as much, but if they're asking for it, you want a strong one. Okay. And my final tip for that,
Did
watch the
already
video.
ask for it.
Yeah. My tip for that is you definitely want to not focus on the fact you don't have sales experience, because you do. Okay. Everything that you've done, just like an interview, focus on all the strengths that you've built from your life experience that you're going to use for that job. Okay. So watch in week 4. Look for that interview from Ty. I literally have an example of her resume on there, and I'll send it to you if you don't find it. But good question. Same sales process we're using,
Yeah, because
use on your interviews. Okay. Discovery,
their
pre-pitch.
offer is good. Their offer is good, and I did write a cover letter and receive a response from them.
Good.
So they're asking
Awesome.
to send my resume first.
Good. Yeah. Watch the week 4 video on. There's literally a section on a resume.
Okay,
There's an
I
example.
look for that for sure.
Yeah. Make sure. And if you don't find it, text me. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Sure.
Good question. Itzel, anything for you?
I'm good.
Okay. Good job, guys. Proud of you. Tomorrow, it's at noon Pacific time. We'll be role playing this. Right. And it's good for you guys to get practice.
How should the role play should look like? Like, should we bring in our own scripts, or what's the typical process you do?
Yep. If you have your own scripts for your own company, absolutely. We'll practice the pitch together. Whatever your pitch is, we can hone it. We can work on it. If you don't have one, I have plenty you can use. Like, this is a good, pretty typical one for B2C. I have one for B2B as well. Okay. So I have scripts we can practice, and they're very generic. Like, this is like almost very generic. Like any offer can do this. Okay. Same with my B2B
Sure.
one. Any B2B offer I have a script for is for marketing. So we can do either of those. And what we'll do is we'll just take some turns, nice and easy. There's no pressure. It's just to get a good sense of it, and just get a sense of like how to go through this and make it your own. Okay. So this is not the Bible. This is just something I'm using. Okay. So you guys can make it your own. Sound good?
Yeah, good.
Okay. All right, guys. Good work. Get after it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then Thursday, same time, 2 p.m. Okay.
Sure. See you.
All right.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.